If you look closely, that camera is shaking. Right now, 38 degrees and wind gusts 36 miles per hour. And we'll continue to see that as we do move through the night. Now, when we are going to see some of this heavier precipitation mixed with these winds, it could make for some very dangerous travel conditions. ODOT is advising people to stay away from the passes tonight if you can, especially as we're heading up towards Crater Lake, Diamond Lake. We're expecting quite a bit of that rain to fall as we're heading over to Curry, Josephine counties, even more possibility for those coastal mountain ranges. A little bit less as we're heading over east of the Cascades, but it's still going to be a pretty decent amount. Now, as we head later into the week for our Monday and Tuesday, we will begin to dry out, so that does raise a little bit of concern for that valley fog to develop again, especially as we're taking a look at Tuesday. If you're heading out the door rather soon, Grants Pass, seeing some moderate precipitation even again as we're heading over into Medford, down into northern California, areas into close to Mount Shasta this morning. Still seeing a wintry mix, dealing with some school delays. And then as we're heading up east of the Cascades, again, dealing with some precipitation as we're heading over towards Lakeview. Those storms that we're starting to see a few across the region. Saw a lot of cumulus buildup as we headed into this afternoon. We're even seeing some cumulus buildup along the Cascades. That's another one of those areas we could see some of those storms pop up soon. But again, we saw some strikes of lightning on the border of Klamath and Lake County up north. It's gonna get pretty nasty as we're heading into Wednesday night. So if you're heading out tomorrow, it's gonna be mainly dry, but you're gonna wanna head home a little bit earlier, especially if you have to make the commute through the passes. We do have a winter storm watch starting tomorrow at 4 p.m. and it is going to last until 10 a.m. on Friday. And like I mentioned, we're gonna see a lot of that heavier precipitation as we're moving throughout the night tomorrow. That is going to be deepening as it does make its way over to us. And if you take a look at these white lines here, those are pressure lines. Now, the closer they are together, the windier the conditions will be for us. So we can expect winds to pick up as we're making our way into later this evening and into tomorrow morning for our Friday. But take a look at where that bomb cyclone moved. These two systems are going to cycle around each other. This is called the Fujiwara effect. Tomorrow, those breezy conditions will die down. You can expect calm winds for Saturday and Sunday, and we'll be warming up as we do head into the second half of this weekend. Temperatures back up into the upper 80s by Sunday.
This morning, it wasn't really a shock, but still walking out and seeing rain for the first time in a long time was a little bit of a change.
I know, right? Usually we're waking up and it's very dry, or it's sprinklers that you see that are out very wet on the ground. But today, yeah, it was a very nice surprise, even feeling a little bit humid this morning. Gusty winds on the other side of the Cascades, and we're going to be having some drier humidity values as well. So with this, we do have a fire weather watch. It was extended a little bit bigger over into Klamath County this morning. Current temperatures about 41 degrees and it's pretty windy. Gusts about 17 miles per hour out of the south. We'll check on other areas in just a second, but current temperatures of 48 into Medford, 46 into Grants Pass, 52 to Gold Beach, 36 as into Lakeview, and down to Mount Shasta, 39 degrees. Now, high temperatures likely going to be reaching their peak rather soon, and then we'll begin to decrease in temperatures as we're moving throughout the day. Mostly cloudy sky conditions as we're heading into the afternoon hours, with the exception of the coast and some of those mountainous areas. But taking a look at current wind gusts, still seeing some pretty strong gusts as we're heading into the Shasta Valley and over east of the Cascades, dealing with that wind advisory until about 1 p.m. today. But winds should diminish as we're heading later into those afternoon hours. But taking a closer look out at radar, still seeing some widespread rain across the region. And now we're beginning to see a bit more blue in the mix, snow beginning to come down in a few areas. Right now, snow levels getting pretty close to about 5,000 feet as we're heading all the way over to these at the Warner Mountain Summit, seeing some snowy road conditions, but into the Cascade passes a little bit lower. Not looking too bad right now. As we're heading into the second half of our day, that's when the concerns are going to arise along the passes as we're heading into our Friday night and into our Saturday morning. Gonna want to be extra careful. If you need to head through the passes, make sure you're heading out earlier into the day. We do have a winter weather advisory starting at 4 4 p.m. lasting until 10 a.m. tomorrow morning for areas above 3,000 feet. But tracking out on Stormcast when we're going to continue to see a lot of this activity. Right now, as we're heading into the afternoon hours, we'll switch over to a bit of more showery activity. Could see a break in some of the clouds as well, seeing that sun come through. But as we head into the evening, that's when we see a shower activity along the Cascades pick up as well. Snow heavy to moderate at some times. Also some pretty strong wind gusts, about 45 miles per hour along the Cascades. Heading into western Siskiyou County, gusts up to about 35. And then as we continue through our Saturday morning, we'll still continue to see some showers. But then rain moves in. Mainly it is going to be up towards the north, but we still have rain likely along our coast. And as we're heading into Josephine, Jackson County, shower activity as we're heading over east, and the possibility as we're heading down into northern California. But let's go ahead and take a look at your 7-day forecast for the coast. It is going to be very breezy and rainy as we're heading through the next few days over into northern California. The chance for rain and snow as we're heading into our Saturday, but slight chance as we switch over into Sunday and Monday. Same deal over into the Klamath Basin. Over into the mountains, windy today, but we'll be settling down by the time we're heading later into the day, and finally back over into the Rogue Valley. Rain likely as we're heading through Friday and Saturday with showers for Sunday and Monday. We talked to Mount Ashland, Mount Shasta, and Warner Canyon about what skiers and snowboarders can expect up on the mountains this winter. The Mount Ashland ski area is highly anticipating their 76th season with the launch of their new Lithia ski lift.
It's going to be amplifying what we started to lay out last year.
The ski area's general manager, Andrew Guest, says the mountain is known for its advanced terrain, but they are looking forward to welcoming more beginners to the slopes.
You can learn on this hill, but getting to the main mountain, there's a big gap there. Yeah. So the new chairlift will help to bridge that gap and then provide just a lot more terrain for those first timers and those new skiers and snowboarders.
The accessibility doesn't stop there. Mount Ashland widened Aisle 2 and will continue to operate night skiing on Saturdays this year. Something reintroduced last year for the first time in 15 years.
We hear over and over from folks that they would really like to come up after school, after work on those Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays.
To improve night skiing, Mount Ashland replaced their old lights with new LED lighting. All summer long, we kept you prepared and fire aware. Now that we switched over into wetter winter months, areas affected by wildfires face a new concern: burn scars.
Sometimes you'll see areas where it was a beneficial burn, like it just kind of cleared out the garbage in there, like just all the downed branches or downed trees. So now it's much healthier forest. Other times it's pretty devastating.
After fire season ends and rainy season begins, for some of us, fires become an afterthought. Depending on how hot the fire was, winter weather can create new problems for fire scars. Spencer Higginson, a service hydrologist, has worked closely with burn scars.
The real issue comes when you lose a lot of vegetation and when it has burned so hot that it damages the soil, because then you're losing your ability to absorb water.
It's been a historical fire season in both Oregon and Northern California.
The good news in our area is we don't have a lot of debris flows.
Each fire leaves behind a different burn scar, requiring different recovery efforts and monitoring.
The McKinney, and that's in Siskiyou County, just west of Wairika, they're still having debris flows from that one.
The National Weather Service sets up weather stations near these severe areas. Hydrologists like Spencer are able to gather crucial forecasting data.
Lives and property are critical. When we see rainfall coming towards a burn scar, we're looking closely at it, and we have these thresholds in place. If it gets to that threshold, we're issuing a flash flood watch or warning.
3, 2, 1, away it goes.